Hey, good morning, everybody. How you doing, Mr. Felix?
I'm all right. You all right?
Yes, sir. How's everything this fine morning?
Yeah, I woke up. I'm on the wake up list.
Yes, sir.
Joy to share with you, sir.
I'm very glad to share the screen with you as well. This fine March 18th, 2023. I want to start the show by saying happy birthday to my oldest daughter, Danielle. She turns 20 years old today. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, Daddy wants you to know that he loves you. And one day, it's going to be all right. And I'm going to leave it at that. It's going to be great. And I'm just happy this morning to be a part of it.
Boy.
It's a great day, and we're going to get started. I want to thank everybody, as always, for coming out and supporting us. And don't forget to click like, click share, call friends, let them know. Kamau and Felix on the internets again, and they talking that crazy sports. And we are glad to do it. We are just overjoyed that you're joining us. And it's always our plans to be the soul train of this generation. Every other Saturday, we coming at you with sports and entertainment and lots of fun. Well, we got a possible new segment today with our Creed 3 discussion. And we're going to talk NCAA, NFL, NBA, women and men's NCAA. What else we got in here? We got, of course, stupid sports news. Woo! Our stupid sports news today is going to be fun. But we're going to start it off with the topic decided by you, our watchers and listeners, the NCAA tournament, the men's tournament and the women's tournament. Of course, we're doing brackets again this year. We're doing men's and women's. Right now, it's just two of us in the women's bracket, and there are 5 of us in the men's side. So far in the men's tournament, we had a number 1 be taken down by a 16. Was it the first or second time in history? I think
Second time. The first time it was 2012, I think I read, or 2008, one of them.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised it hasn't happened again since. It's been close though. It's been pretty close. Absolutely. I actually thought that Alabama would be the first number 1 to go down, but last night Fairleigh Dickinson took down Purdue, and Purdue was the number 1 seed in that bracket, the Big Ten champion, regular season and tournament champions. And I thought they at least won the first game. I didn't think they were going to win it all because of their style, and everything goes through the big guy. And with today's game, you really don't see that too much. But it's a good way to still to win in college. But I didn't get to see much of the game. All I saw was the end, was the score, and in a picture in the locker room where somebody punched a hole in the whiteboard for Purdue. So, but they say survive and advance.
Man, they were overrated all year. Like you said, everything went through the big fella. Big fella is a Yao Ming 2.0. He's trash, man. I mean, I'm just being honest. I give respect where respect is due. I do. But he's just trash, man. He's garbage. He at 7'4", okay. 18. They went 18 minutes and he touched the ball 1 time. That's how you knew they was gonna lose. But you know what? I gotta give credit to Fairleigh Dickinson because they watched tape and they knew what to do. They put somebody on the side of him, they put somebody in front of him, and they put somebody behind him. Yeah. The Big Ten they not strong like that. Izzo and they man up or they zone. He gonna kill that all day. That right there, he might as well go to the league because if he come back, everybody gonna just do what Ferris and Dickinson did, and then everybody gonna pop them in. Plus, they were overrated. They wasn't that good, man. Anybody can be a number 1 seed. They wasn't that good. They were more like a 3.
In other words, they said He said, we're going to put 3 people on here, and the other 4, y'all still not going to beat us. Right. They did Steph Curry.
They basically played him like teams would play Shaq when he was at LSU. But the only thing was he doesn't have the athleticism that Shaq had. So
that's the ball over the top, and Shaq would dunk it. Yeah,
they're overrated, man.
Yeah. So that sounds like what they did to Steph Curry in the tournament when they face guarded him. Who was it? The one school that liked to shoot all the jump shots back in the day. They triple teamed Steph Curry back in the day in the tournament, right. But they still lost. But so they made sure Steph only scored like 5 that game or something like that.
Right.
Well, so let's look at the men's bracket so far. We got Alabama advancing, Maryland, San Diego State, and Furman. Furman upset Virginia on Thursday. I didn't think that was much of an upset, even though I did have Virginia moving forward. We got Creighton, then Baylor. Baylor's looking really good right now. They are looking really good. And we got Princeton upsetting Arizona. So everything on this whole was the South bracket. Carnage. And then we got Fairleigh Dickinson over Purdue. We had Duke Florida Atlantic University beat Memphis. And Penny Hardaway, they mad at him, talking about he threw a water bottle.
Yeah, he did. He did.
Yeah.
He threw it pretty far, too. He did. He was mad. He was mad.
We're going to keep those emotions in check. It seemed like, it's an emotional game. He's not the only one having issues with his emotions. Duke rolled against Oral Roberts. Tennessee over Louisiana. Kentucky won. Kansas State. Michigan State with a 10-point win yesterday. And Marquette over Vermont. And then in the Midwest, Houston took care of business. Auburn, Miami, Indiana, Pittsburgh over Iowa State. That was a 6-11, so that's not necessarily an upset. Xavier held on against Kennesaw State. That game went down to the wire. Yes. Kennesaw State took them to the wire. Penn State over A&M. I have A&M winning that game. And Texas jumped all over Colgate. So then we got Kansas. They took care of business against Howard.
Absolutely.
Arkansas, St. Mary's, UConn, TCU with a barn burner. They were close against Arizona State. I think, to me, Arizona State is the turnaround comeback team of the year. Last year, they were talking about getting rid of Bobby Hurley. They were really close to getting rid of Bobby Hurley last year. And he turned it around.
You know what the turnaround team is?
Who's that?
And I'm gonna give you all the credit because you said it. The turnaround team is Northwestern.
Northwestern.
Not only did they get in, they won. They actually won. They got in and won. Northwestern is the turnaround team. That's right. The turnaround team. Northwestern.
You're right. You're right. I did say that.
Yes, you did say that.
Was my next team.
I listened. I listened.
Northwestern beat Boise State. UCLA won, and Gonzaga over Grand Canyon. So we got some good matchups coming up. This next round, I like this Maryland Alabama game. I like this Creighton Baylor game. Missouri Princeton. Princeton always run those backdoor cuts. They're hard to play against because you don't see them. Fairleigh Dickinson should probably go ahead and go on home against Florida Atlantic, but you never know. Let's see. Duke and Tennessee is probably going to be a barn burner. Kentucky, Kansas State, that's going to be tough. Marquette should beat Michigan State. I'm going to say it again, should. But Shark Smart, for some reason, since he's left Virginia Commonwealth, he's been having trouble with his teams in the tournament. And we're going to go from the bottom up on this side. Let's see. UCLA, Northwestern. UCLA should win, with the style of defense that they play. It's like Northwestern playing against Michigan State, so Northwestern should have a good chance in that game.
Absolutely.
TCU, Gonzaga. Gonzaga should win. UConn, St. Mary's. Kansas, Arkansas. Now that is going to be a good game. That is today at 4:15. So that's what I'm going to try and.
Well, it's going to be a good game.
Kansas, Arkansas. Kansas did this in the year. They had a trajectory. Arkansas kind of started here and kind of went down. So I see that. I like this. I want to see that game. Penn State, Texas, Pitt, Xavier. I like that game a lot right there. Pittsburgh and Xavier with the homecoming of Sean. Miami, Indiana. The U was looking good in them uniforms when they won. I like them uniforms. It's hard not like the football or basketball. It's hard not to like them uniforms. Right. And this Houston Auburn game, that's going to be a tough matchup. The coach at Auburn is a pretty smart game. It's pretty smart, but he always have trouble in the tournament. So Houston should advance. And the women's tournament, let's see here. Let me get to the women's bracket. Let me quickly find that real quick. I'm sorry. The first four, Texas A&M Commerce won. Pittsburgh got in on Arizona State, won their playing game. And Fairleigh Dickinson won the playing game. Go ahead and be fair too. I'm sorry. That's not nice. But that's funny. But it's true. It's true. All right. Let's see here. Women's tournament bracket. Let me pull that up real quick. Let's see here. And of course, our team is doing well. South Carolina took down South Florida. No, they played South Florida. South Florida won. The thing about this tournament, the women's game is always a day behind the men's game. So right now, South Carolina and South Florida won. Mississippi State, Notre Dame both won. Arizona State and Maryland won. Stanford and Ole Miss both won their games. Georgia and Iowa won their games. On the other side of the bracket, not very many games have been played. Virginia Tech and Dakota State. South Dakota State beat USC in sort of an upset. Utah and Princeton both won their games. Michigan and LSU have advanced. And on the other side, and so it's Greenville, South Carolina, hosting the whole first part of the game, and then Seattle is hosting the other side. And Gino Auriemma was complaining he had to go all the way to Seattle to play the games. Where in the past, on the women's side, the number ones would host that bracket.
Right.
So if you were the number one seed, you hosted that whole section. What is it? I think what 12 games it is that it works out to be. They would host those games, and now they have it in 2 sites. And of course, Gino Auriemma, he's turning in a lot of ways into the old man on the porch, get off my lawn, complain about everything. But I can understand his point. You got to go all the way to the other side of the country, watch all these games ahead of you. But you got to remember what we talk about here. You're talking about people who are involved in women's sports. Are they coming out to see those games? And is it more cost effective to have those games in one site and maximize it that way? I understand that point of it, but at the same time, Gino, you guys are doing well. You guys sell out you guys get more people to your games than the men's games at UConn. So a lot of those teams don't have that luxury that you have. It's just another step towards trying to win it all and try, like we try to do our part by talking about women's sports and excuse me, we try to do our part to talk about women's sports, and you got to keep talking about it. You got to keep putting it out there, and so we can get people to come out and see these ladies play. They play, in my opinion, a lot better brand of basketball. They play a much better team. You will see a play ran to from beginning to end. They run it all the way through, no matter what the play is. If it's a pick and roll, you see 5 people touching the ball. You rarely see somebody go one-on-one and none. And I like it as a brand of basketball. The WNBA is kind of going away from that a little bit in terms of they're doing a lot of. I've seen a few of their games in person lately, and you see a lot of the one on none going against the 1-4 flat. You'll see a lot of that. That's moving over to the women's game. But all stages before that, you are seeing a much different and better brand of basketball. All right, we're gonna move forward. Once again, don't forget to click like, click share, and get on. And don't forget to go to our Facebook page and join our Facebook page, and let everybody know that hey, we are here. We are here every other Saturday, and I gotta get my book. There it is. Trying to hide from me. Gratefulness Journey every day. Get your book written by the man right here. The Wiz that lives in Oz, he's on the other side monitoring our whereabouts and doings today. Make sure we stand on track. Mr. Marcus Holmes, get that book. He is the proprietor of All Things Love and Stuff. And if you could, sir, could you give me the time and dates of all the Love and Stuff programs so I can make sure I promote that? I know Tuesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, the flagship program, Love and Stuff. Wednesday, we got Love and Scriptures. We have a few more programs that I want to make sure I get everybody and make sure we promote everybody's show to come out and support them. We do everything in love, and we do our best to do that here on this show and keep everything together and enjoy ourselves in the process. So that's what we're doing here.
Yeah,
that's what we're doing. All righty. Let's see. Moving forward, we have NBA talk. our Pistons. They played last night, but I didn't get the score. Well, let's see. Did they win last night? Probably not.
Did they win last? Who did they play?
Let's see here. Let me see if I can find that really quickly. I know they did play last night. Let's see. Let's see here. That's a good thing about this internet. It'd be right here for you.
I don't know. Did they win last night? They might have won last night.
Let's see. Friday. I know they were scheduled to play last night. Let's see. No, I think they lost. It was 119-100, if I remember correctly, because I get the alerts. So let me make sure that's right. Hornets, Warriors, Cavaliers, Bulls.
What they lose to?
Maybe it wasn't. Maybe they didn't play last night. Let me. No, maybe they didn't. Let's see. Maybe they did, because I thought that's what I saw last night, but I could have been wrong. But the point I'm making is they've had one win since our last. It was the Nuggets. Yeah, they played. It was last night. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost to the Nuggets.
Yeah, 119.
Man, they lost to the Nuggets. Yeah, sure.
So they are 16-56 since our last show. The last show they were 15-48. So they've lost. They played, what's that, 9 games since then?
Yes,
something like that. 7. Ooh. They trying to get the Frenchmen. They trying to learn French and croissant and Le Rotte de Bouffe. They trying to learn French for the new Frenchman, the 7-foot guy. They trying to tank for. I hope it worked. But the thing about it is, they still selling out every night. They selling out the Little Caesars Arena every night. They selling it out. So it's hard.
Take them on, Junior.
It's hard to argue with if it's working. You're making money. Everybody happy. We of course we want to win. Detroiters want to celebrate them and go out and help them out, because we don't have to drive all the way out to Auburn Hills or Pontiac anymore.
Right.
And so it's you got both those teams right there in the same building, which was the long-term plan from 20 years ago. Even though the Palace was still a brand new and viable stadium, but hey, that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But that's where they are. So hopefully it will work out moving forward. That's my prayer, that they start winning. We proud traditions here in Detroit as a Pistons fan, but hopefully they can pick things up, because at the end of the day, Detroit, we like to win, and just like everybody else. Right. So one win, 8 losses since our last show. All right, moving forward to the one and only NBA news right now. Ja Morant. Is Ja Morant on that stuff?
Ja Morant, he just got to grow up, man. Like, I hope he really listened to the message that the Detroiter himself, Jalen Rose, told him. I used to be you, man. And that guy, he grew up. So, I mean, sometimes you got to look in your circle, man. And you got to see who's there for you and who's there for what you can do for them, and who's there to take advantage of you. The cats in his camp right now, they're there to take advantage of him. If Ja Morant worked at Ford or GM or Chrysler, he'd just be Ja Morant. But because he's this phenomenal basketball player, everybody has an entourage, right? But once the money is gone and you have to foot the bill yourself, that's when you're going to see when guys going to fall to the wayside. Mm-hmm. It feels good to watch. Who does? It always feels good to spend somebody else's money, right? Think about it. Every time you went in the club, you got in for free. You sat VIP. You were drinking the best of the best. And at the end of the night, you went home because you didn't have to pay for it. Who wouldn't like that lifestyle, right? Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, his father has to become his father. You can't become his friend. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? You was his father all this time. You was mentoring him and all that. The guy, sometimes asking for something, you might not be able to accept what's really going to happen. And I say that to say this. You want to be NBA basketball player / this guy who wants to go through the NBA and don't mess with him because, right. Look, sometimes you keep knocking at the devil's door, he going to answer. And when he answers, you might not like what he gonna answer. So that's what I'm saying. Just play ball, man. All that other stuff, man, leave that alone. Because you have way more to lose. Just leave that alone, man. That's why I be saying all these guys like Shannon Sharp, when he was like, "Ja, you not gonna do nothing. You not neither." They already showed you wasn't gonna do nothing at the Laker game. They had to restrain you and made you sit out. You're not about that life, man.
He was until he realized where he was. Once he realized, because you can see the look from this to, let me think about this. Shannon's face changed real quick once he realized I didn't got myself going to let it go too far. I ain't by myself. I ain't at the house. I'm not in the backyard with the fam.
All right. And then
there's no cameras. And
then you got to think too. Look at his teammate. One of his teammates want to go through the NBA like he this thug slash back. Dude, you light skinned. Stop, man. Ain't nobody scared of you.
Come on, dog.
Stop, man. You light skinned. Ain't nobody scared of you.
Number 2. I know you're talking about number 20 with the braids. Think he tough.
Dylan. Dylan.
Every team has a quote unquote tough guy. The guy who do the things nobody else want to do. But you got to make sure you understand that's your job on the court. We're not carrying this off.
Right. It's like, okay, look. Zach Randolph, former Michigan State basketball player.
He said it. Life.
He said it best. He said it best. I'm from where the bullies get bullied. Like he told DeMarcus Cousins. All that went out the window then. DeMarcus, look, man, everybody bad to the big bad wolf.
That's right. Did nobody want to mess with Zach? Nobody want to mess with Debo.
And I'm from where the bullies get bullied. Now, what you want to do? Right. You a father, man. You a father, a husband. Get out of here, man.
Well, every time I think about Ja Morant, I think about Dave Chappelle. When keeping it real goes wrong. He's a modern day episode of When Keeping It Real Goes Wrong. He got himself 8 games for showing off at the strip club. But this is what people in his age range do. They showing out. They on Instagram. They doing whatever. And it's the image. It's the image. He went from having no tattoos to being tatted up all over the place. I want to actually see what those tats are for. What they represent. What is it? Those tats that are actually saying?
Well, you got to look at too. You got to look at too. Captain Jack, which is Jackson, used to play for the Pacers. He said it best. He said, "Y'all want to come down on Ja Morant? We did way worse than that when we were playing." And they did.
But there were no cameras.
They did. Captain Jack, man, I mean, the list go on and on. Captain Jack, C-Webb, all of them did. Rasheed Wallace, they did all. If you really, I give you some history. I'm going to give you some real history. Jermaine O'Neal, former NBA player, he said it best. You know who changed the culture of the NBA?
Iverson?
Allen Iverson. Nobody wasn't doing braids. Nobody wasn't doing tattoos. Nobody wasn't doing cornrows. Allen Iverson brought all that. Go back and look before Allen Iverson got to the NBA. Well, nobody wearing braids.
Yeah. All the different clothes and fashion, all that. Yeah.
Right. None of that. But now, I don't know, man. Like, I pray for him. I do. Because I don't want to see him be the poster child that, this guy could have been this guy could have been that. And now he's working at Walmart somewhere. I mean, basketball is a brotherhood. At the end of the day, it's a brotherhood. But like you just said, to piggyback off what you just said, it's a job. Your job is to play ball. The Memphis Grizzlies are paying you to go up and down the court, sell tickets, highlights, whatever. All that other stuff, man, leave that alone, man. You got to check your camp.
Yeah. I think he's going to learn from this because I hope he learns from it. Absolutely. With me, that's you're looking to lose way too much over something really stupid and really silly.
It's called a humble pie, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, why would I want to be a lieutenant in your army when I'm a captain in my own stuff?
Yeah. So hopefully he learns from this. Good morning, Mr. Mick McKenna, classmate. How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Cheers to you too, sir. Thank you for everybody coming out and joining us this morning. Don't forget to click like, click share. Let everybody know out there we are across a bunch of different platforms. Let's see if I can remember. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. So we are across right now. We're broadcasting against 5 different platforms. And so if you know anybody in those areas, tell them to come check us out. We're doing our best to grow our brand and become bigger and better every other week as we come to you. Excuse me, once again with a action-packed, lots of information, lots of fun this week. Really quickly, let's just throw in the World Baseball Championships over in Japan. I think they are right now, Korea, and right now they're down to the quarterfinals. We had a great game last night with Puerto Rico and Mexico. Mexico came back and won that game. We had Japan beat Italy, and so Mexico will play Japan Monday. And yesterday we had Australia and Cuba. Cuba beat Australia, and USA are playing Venezuela today, later on the night in Miami. And so the winner of that game will play against Cuba, and that'll be Sunday. And Mexico play against Japan. Now, I can tell you, these games are way more exciting than the Olympics. I love watching the World Baseball Classic. It's a lot of fun, a lot of camaraderie. Guys from teams all over the world. Some guys we know, some guys we don't know. And they go out and they play. And the fans, it's like soccer and the baseball, and soccer mentality with baseball. They get out and you hear them cheering and chanting. I love watching the World Baseball Classic. And the uniforms, they always got the sweetest uniforms. Those that Puerto Rico Mexico game, I want both them jerseys. Them jerseys are sweet. So I love to see it. You got the guy, the pitcher hitter, Otani. I don't want to mess his name up. He hit a bomb, and the young lady caught it. And you see him passing around, taking pictures of the ball. He got a picture with her. And the funny part, she caught it, and nobody tried to take it from her. She just passed around everybody, and they gave it right back to her. That's the culture over there. Well, had they been over here, they still be fighting. The police would have to separate.
You still be calling 911. Yeah, they took my baseball. I can't.
And the police would have said, possession is not 6/10 of the law. You ought to look.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have been
around.
Yeah, I just thought that was so wonderful that they did that. That the young lady was, they were so gracious and nice to that young lady. So those are things that you see in contrast in terms of cultures and how everybody is treated in different parts of the world. So kudos to that. Really quickly, we got a few quick hits in college basketball. UNC declines the trip to the NIT, and they're being lambasted for that, for being the perennial #1 pick in the beginning of the season to not making the tournament at all. They're saying this sour grapes on them, and they shouldn't have done that. Boeheim is out. Is he really? He's a new special assistant up in Syracuse for basketball. I knew this was going to get Trail. Trail said UNC is trash. Good morning, sir. How'd you know go to the IT? I agree with you. I think they should have taken the invitation. They have a viable team. Everything is okay with everybody healthy, which is in stark contrast to MSU, where they got the coach was sick all season, and it was just best at this point to move forward with them. Honestly, in my personal opinion, I would have taken the NIT invitation because you're still getting extra games, you still get that practice, you're still moving forward for the next season. That's right. You want to honor your seniors. Thank you, Trail. Let's see here.
But at the end of the day, though, you played in the national championship a year prior. Going to the NIT, that's nah. I don't blame Hubert Davis. I wouldn't have went either. Nah. I just played Kansas, and I blew a 20-point lead to the eventual national champion. Mm-hmm. You want me to go to play at some Gus Macker tournament? Nah, I'm not going to that, man.
Go win it then, if that's the case.
Why go? What am I going to go there for? And I already know my team is better than playing that. So okay, here we go.
Go prove it.
Okay, so he goes. They go to the NIT, right? Mm-hmm. And Babcock or Scott, Armando Babcock or Scott get hurt, and they lost for the upcoming year. What do that for? No, I would have.
You still have the same chance of getting hurt in the NCAA tournament as they would in NIT. Yeah,
but you would look at which one is more is acceptable, the NIT or the NCAA tournament. You don't play all year to go to the NIT.
I agree. Your focus is not to go to NIT, but that's where you ended up. Go there and make the best of it. At the end of the day, if you make it out to the Final Four, you playing in the Garden.
So you think like, okay, let's play pretend. Like, see, even the dog agree with me. Let's play pretend. Let's say North Carolina wins the NIT. They would have went and they would have played the NIT and won it. You think they would have held that banner up in the Dean Smith Dome for that? No. That's what I'm saying. Nah. That's why Hubert Davis like, I'm not even finna put y'all through that. And I agree with him 100%. No. Do you think okay, here's one even better. Do you think it's a banner from when Michigan won the NIT at Chrysler Arena? No. Nobody award that, man. No.
It's better than nothing. That's what I say.
I take nothing.
we got some good some good banter going on in the comments. Let's see here. Trail. What? That was last year. Yes, go play at the NIT. Give them singers a chance. He says them players ain't coming back. Bakata Singh and the other stars are juniors. They leaving. Miss Kyra, how you doing, Dr. Kyra? No, I wouldn't go either. It ain't worth it to go get her in NIT. Trail. Last time to be a team. UNC trash. Yes, they would have loved it. NIT.
No.
One more quick hit. Patrick Ewing gets the Ziggy at Georgetown. I never thought that was a good fit from day one. And it was just hilarious to see him on the sideline trying to coach. It was just not a good fit.
You take care of your alumnus, right?
Yeah, you do.
He brought you a national championship, right?
You do. I agree with that. But it was just funny seeing him on the sideline with them glasses, the tallest guy on the sideline. It just never looked like it was a good fit.
No, it wasn't a good fit. But I mean, that put a little bit of money in his pocket. You know, he did what he.
I understand them bringing him in because, you can try and get somebody to, this a great alumnus. He led us to a championship. This is going to be good for recruiting. But his experience as a coach, coming back at that level was not right. It's been done a couple different places where it didn't work. And I would have liked to see him be a bit assistant a little bit more longer for a few more places because they pretty much brought him in off the street. And so I'm not saying he don't know the game, but in terms of being able to deal with today's athlete and be able to win on that level is a total different thing. So that's why Mr. Chuck Carson, you got to have somebody that's been moving and shaking in the basketball world more than what he was at that time. So Georgetown to me will always be one of my favorite teams. With the blue and gray, with the Nikes back in the day, and so it's hard not to cheer for him to this day. It just hurts to see him be such a good program that's down bad right now. All right, don't forget to click like, click share. Make sure you come in and see the love and stuff. Diaspora, Mr. Marcus, can you give me a synopsis of what the shows are so we can make sure the people out there know to come back on what days? I know Love and Stuff is on Tuesday. Love and Stuff is springing back to 8:30 Eastern. Spring summer schedule, women's history and the stories of sisterhood. Love and the Scriptures Wednesday at 6 p.m. live. And also don't forget we have Sports Talk gear. Make sure you shop Sports Talk gear. We have a Love and Stuff gear. And that's right. We have you can scan it right there on the screen. You can right to the phone, scan it on there, bloop, and you can order things right there with the ever so handsome Kamau and Felix right there. Look at them guys. Look at them guys on that sweater. There you go. And there's women's gear, there's men's gear, and it's all going to a good cause. We raise money that the proceeds go to scholarships. So and had you got in the brackets for the men's and women's, you could have won one. So that's my plug right now. We got two people in the women's brackets, myself and Mr. Ryan Peoples, who won it 2 years ago. And there's five of us, Mr. Trail, in the men's bracket. So we could have got you one had you won it all. So right now we have 5 and 2. And Mr. Peoples is leading both of them. He got Houston winning it all. I have Kansas winning it all. We both have South Carolina winning it all on the ladies' side. All right, moving forward. Creed 3. We're going to quickly get through this, so we want to make sure we stay on time. I am not a fan of this movie. And I'm going to stick to what I said. It was 1.5 out of 5 stars. It was like watching Wakanda Forever all over again. They killed the mama in Wakanda. They killed the mama in Creed. Mama, well, they didn't kill her. They she had met her untimely demise because she was worried about her dying. And what else? It was even you could tell that the same people did both movies because the graphics was the same, and they try to pull your heartstrings the same. But I do give them credit for teaching the daughter boxing, the special needs issues part of it. But they gave a lot of credence to the earlier movies, how he would go, how Adonis went and visited his opponent in the locker room after the fight, like Rocky did with his dad. I see the parallels, but outside of that movie was way too predictable. The movie was way too. It was just not what I would have expected for that. Of course, when you start stretching it, when you get to part 3, it's a money grab. But at the same time, they sold that movie on hot, sweaty, half-naked men with oil on their back.
I can't believe I actually got up this morning to do this show with you. Every time I think you're gonna say something, you amaze me even worse, more and more. Are you serious, man?
Yes, I'm serious.
Do you understand the parallel to each movie?
I understand.
Okay. Look, since we up against it, I'm gonna break you down the quick verse.
Okay. All right.
Creed 1. The dude from used to be on First Take with Stephen A. Smith. He asked him, he said, "What do you want to be known as, Adonis?" He said, "I want to be known as, I don't want to be a mistake from my father's infidelity." That started it, right? Okay. He found out each movie had a dialogue. In the first one, he found out Rocky had cancer. So Rocky told him, if I could go back and change everything I had in my life, I would. I would still have my wife. Your dad would still be alive. Yes. It hurts me every day that your father died in my arms. I should have stopped the fight. I didn't. I got to live with that. He told Rocky, if you fight, I'm going to fight. That moved to Creed 2. Creed 2, he met old girl. Well, he had already established that relationship in part 1. Mm-hmm. They made up, they got together. They moved. He became champion. Rocky told him, look, man, don't take the fight. This guy, Drago's son is raised from hate. Don't take the fight. Blase, blee, blase, blah. With that being said, he told him, he asked Rock, he said, when he found out she was pregnant, and Rock asked him and said, are you going to love her? And Adonis said, yeah, I'm going to love her. What do you mean am I going to love her? He said, because she's not in there feeling sorry for herself. So with that, each movie had that's why I'm like, how you give it a 1.5? I'm like, what? Did you get there late? Did you get there in the middle? Are you serious? Man, and then
the plot was flimsy.
Plot was not flimsy.
Yes, it was.
He had to do it like that because he had to keep you watching. Part 3 was the part of your past caught back up with you. The same way in Rocky. All Rocky movies had a trilogy. Rocky 4 was the death of Apollo. Rocky 5 was his past caught up with him. He became broke again. He started from where he came from in Philadelphia. He didn't have no more money. He was brain damaged. He lost Mick. All that. That's what I'm saying. You gotta go break it down. Look, there's a difference. The difference between me and you is you go watch the movie. WATCH. I go watch. WATCHE. That's the difference. That's real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk. I know I was gonna get you to laugh. That's a difference. Notice how each movie I break down everything. People like all these viewers watching right now, like, dang, how you remember that? I watch the movie. It's an E on the end. You watch the movie. That's the difference. Just being for real.
Okay, wait a minute, hold on. The way you said it, you WCH. I WATCH.
Right, WT. I watch the movie. You watch the movie. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how can he get, when you posted it, I'm like, this guy, he must have got there late.
That's all the whole thing.
The only thing which you could probably consider criticizing is we have to get used to Michael B. Jordan directing and acting.
I don't think he did a bad job of directing, but I will tell you this: the best person who had the best who did the best job of acting in the whole movie was Stephen A. Smith. He was the only person in the movie that was believable to me. Everybody else was not believable.
This is why Barack said we will never get nowhere as the people because, dude, are you serious? Michael B. Jordan is an upcoming African-American actor. He took on, every Rocky movie, Rocky directed and starred in it, right? How long was that trilogy going to last? That's why he had the reason. See, you got to break it down in detail. The reason why Rocky wasn't in Creed 3 was because the dude that owns the rights, they not seeing eye to eye. So Rock like, I'm not going to do a cameo. I'm not going to do nothing. It's time. Okay, here we go.
Rock sold the rights to Michael B. Jordan.
Here we go. Right. If you go back and look at Rocky 2, remember when he went back and he beat Drago's son? Right. And he was like, Unc. And he was like, it's your time now.
Yeah,
and Rock, I knew Rock wasn't gonna be in 3D.
Yeah, because but you do know that in the background they were trying to hype it up like he was pushed out. I think they did that to try and sell tickets. He had an interview. He was at the end of the day, he still had a producing credit in that movie.
At the end of the day, Mr. Williams, like I said, I watch the movie. At the end of the day, each character in these movies are only going to go for so long. Think about it. How long was Paulie gonna last? How long? The shocking part out of all the Rocky, the shocking part out of all of the Rocky movies is how he killed off Adrian. Nobody knew he was gonna do that. That was the shock. How you kill off your wife, your own wife? That doesn't even make sense. He killed off his own wife. You want to know why he killed off his own wife? Because people got tired of Rocky. You fight for the family. You don't fight with the family. You don't fight against them. Who want to keep on and watch that? Nobody wants to keep it. So he had to kill her off. The Apollo part, he knew what he was doing. You see, I'm telling you, man, I watch. You got to put an E on the end of your H, man. You got to watch the movie.
Okay, I'm going to let you have this one. Because I'm going to still say 1.5.
Can't argue facts, son. Everything I said is facts. You can't argue facts. Today is Saturday. I can't argue facts. You can't argue facts. But you really, real talk, you got to move that 1.5. He at least get a 3, man. You at least got to give him a 3. You can't give him no, and then to say Waka Fonda or whatever you said, man, that's an insult, man. That's a straight up insult. That's my opinion.
I was very upset watching that movie. I'm not saying it wasn't a good movie. I just thought it would have been better. And
what part? What would you have changed?
It was very predictable. As soon as they showed a picture of that kid who punched whoever was in the face or at the party, I knew he was in prison with the guy because I knew it was going to automatically, once he go see his mama, the 2 letters that he never got, the guy was going to be in the picture. To me, that was already they over foreshadowed that. So little stuff like that, and the fact that Coogler did both movies.
You do realize that Damien saved Donnie's life, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so once again, the parallel comes back. His past came back to. That's what I say, man. You gotta watch the movie. You just go. You probably had your popcorn and your soda. What you had, the little reclining seats in the movie theater, right? You gotta watch the movie, man. You just went and watched the movie. You gotta watch the movie.
Okay, all right. I'll tell you what.
Next time you home, we gonna go and I'm gonna show you how to watch
the movie. All right. Okay, all right. You win. Fine. I'm still gonna stick with my 1.5, but I'm gonna let you have one argument. You have one argument. All right, let's move forward. We want to make sure we talk about NFL really quickly. Chicago has traded their number 1 pick and they got 2 first rounds back, and they traded receiver DJ Moore. So that says they are looking towards keeping the quarterback where they are and build around Justin Fields. And so I think that's a good thing. You got to give him a chance. You know, you don't draft him and throw the baby away with the bathwater just yet. I don't think he's had a coordinator with him that can take advantage of his skills. You don't want to throw the baby away with. I don't mean that in terms of his size. I mean that in terms of the analogy. He's still young in his process as a quarterback. This only be what, a third a year?
No. Repeat what you say.
I said you don't want to throw the baby away with the bathwater. That's the analogy is you don't want to throw him away yet. He hasn't had an opportunity to show what he can do. You've never heard that analogy before? Don't throw away the baby with the bathwater.
Man, that's like don't write what you don't steal the cake mix unless you don't steal the cake bowl unless you steal the spoon. What? Man, where you get? Nah, I ain't never heard that, man. I grew up in Detroit all my life. I ain't never heard that one.
So if I got to go watch a movie with you, I need you to Google "Don't throw away the baby with the bathwater." It's an old medieval term that back in the day everybody had to bathe in one bath because they didn't have, and they heated up one big bath. Mom and daddy go first on down to the kids, and then at the end of the day you throw the water out. And oftentimes they forgot the baby was in there last, so they didn't want to throw the baby away with the bathwater.
Wait. Time out. You mean that daddy would go get out, dry off, then the mama, they don't change the bathwater?
Back in the medieval days, they only had one tub and one bath for everybody.
That night.
It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Now, how many years ago did I say medieval times? It's not modern times.
It probably is some people doing it right now.
In a lot of ways, we was all grew up here. You know, you go and get in that bathtub. While your cousins come over, your grandma want one bathtub, and everybody got to go get in the tub. So in a lot of ways, it still happens.
All right,
probably
man,
still happens.
I got to eat later, man. I don't want that. When I'm looking at my plate, I don't care. Game on you, like you told me, you won. You won.
All right. Aaron Rodgers is going to the Jets. Maybe, possibly. They keep arguing back and forth on that. The Jets came in and got a bunch of the Packers players that Aaron Rodgers said that he had to have before him to go there. But right now, the Packers are just taking their sweet time making a deal, if they make a deal at all. If I'm the Packers, I wouldn't let him go. I'll let him stay. I would be petty. I would be petty and keep him on the team and start the young guy and just let him sit on the sideline. You can have all the press conferences you want. And we're going to go like that.
Come on, I'm so tired. I'd be so glad when he retired, man. Because that's all he do. He cry. You cry. You and then
Mr. Passive Aggressive.
And you know what the sad thing is? They allow him to do this. You do this every off season because you want your way. Man, quit. Go sit down somewhere.
He's the most passive aggressive person in the world right now that we get to see. And does Lamar Jackson even have a contract? I know they put the franchise tag on him. There was some talk about him having a 3-year contract worth $125 to $150 million. But I think that's wrong with how they treat this young man. They're not doing him right. But we can hopefully see that that gets turned around.
He might be in Allen Park.
You think so?
Anything's possible. Hey, you got to go to the show and watch the movie. Anything's possible. Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
Anything's possible.
All righty.
Hey, the dog even agree with me. All right, go watch the movie. Now watch.
I'm gonna put that dog out. I was about to do.
Hey man, don't do like my man.
We got a backyard. I'm gonna put him out. He'll be back. All right. Thank you, everybody. Give me just a quick minute as we pause for the calls as we go into Stupid Sports News.
What do you want?
All right. We got some craziness in Stupid Sports News as we come down the stretch. Sean Kemp is about that life. Former hooper and basketball player, supreme for the Seattle Supersonics. Mr. Sean Kemp has recently been arrested in a quote-unquote drive-by shooting at a local mall in Seattle. And there's videotape of him you can actually see the video of him in the car, and then as you know, police show up. You can't miss him. He's the biggest thing out there. 6'9" dude. It's not like you can't see him. You see him from a mile away. But am I surprised that this happened? No. I was hoping that Sean Kemp has turned his life around. And the funny part is, I just saw an interview with him recently where he was talking about, who he thought was the best player. and who he played against and why between LeBron and Kobe. It seemed like the next day, he was getting arrested. I hope everything works out well for him, but it's not looking good because
you know what? He ain't been right ever since he left Seattle. Remember when he was in Seattle, he was all skinny and he could swing. You know, they called him the Rain Man, and Gary Payton would just throw it up and he'd go get it.
Yep.
Once he got to Cleveland, he got all fat, and it was just like, man.
Yeah, but at that same time, when he got there, he was on the sauce too. He was putting down a pint a night, a quart a night. So he had the issues with the alcoholism.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So he's going through a depression stage. In other words,
he was going through something because he had an issue with alcoholism. So yeah. To me, he was he was Zion Williamson before Zion Williamson. Take you down, dunk on you, out on the break, dunk on you. Had a limited game, dunk on you.
I wouldn't go that far.
He rebound, dunk on you. But his ups was unmatchable.
But then think about it. That Seattle team, they didn't become relevant till when? Till they lost to Mike them, right?
Mm-hmm.
When Mike them jumped out 3-0, then they ended up losing 4-2. And then after that, he had to leave Seattle because Seattle didn't want to pay him. And he had all the kids. He had like what he got, like 6 kids, 6 baby mamas. So yeah.
More than that. More
now?
No, it was more than that then. It was like 9, 10, 11, 12. No, it was more than that.
It was 6.
Trust more than that. It's more than that.
It was 6. It was 6 baby mamas. Now the kid, why I might be wrong on the number of kids, but it was 6 baby mamas. That's what he had.
Because he was the poster child for deadbeat fathers for a long time. Anytime they talk about deadbeat fathers, that's who they talked about. It was Sean Kemp.
That's because he didn't have the money. I can't give you something. I can't help you if I ain't got the money. Seattle wasn't paying him. They were paying Hersey Hawkins. They were paying Gary Payton. They were playing Detlef Shrimp. They were paying them. They weren't paying.
And the coach. And they were paying the coach, but they wasn't paying Sean Kemp.
They was paying George Karl. Yep.
George Karl.
Yeah, absolutely. But,
so I think that I'm not saying that it would happen, but maybe that played into his alcoholism, having to deal with the life that he made for himself.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here. Michael Jordan is selling his minority stake in the Hornets. You think that's a good thing for him?
Absolutely. You done had him for the entirety that you done had him. You only made 2 playoff appearances. One with old boy out of UConn, the little short guy. I can't think of the point guard name. He used to play for Boston. And then he came to he left Charlotte. Then he got traded to us, and we waived him. I can't even think. Kemba Walker.
Right, Kemba Walker.
Right, so Kemba Walker, and then Miles Bridges, what happened with him, you smacked Darren Fox on TV. He left. He went to Sacramento. So, sell it. When he bought them, they were only like 1 point something million. Yeah. They like 1.77 billion. So did he wins.
Yeah. So I think that the biggest loss in terms of him being there was his friendship with what's his name with the round amount of rebounds. I think that was his biggest loss, that he lost his friendship.
Who?
Barkley. I think that was the biggest loss. He lost his friendship.
I mean,
That's a joke. I'm just messing around.
Okay. That's why I say, man, you gotta go to the movie and watch.
Because Barkley criticized him for not being a good GM. So I think that was. I think he lost more.
But then, Mike.
Was he lying?
But then Mike criticized him. Remember when Scotty went to go play with? And Mike, it was like, you ain't gonna win with him. Right.
Yeah, that's very true.
If you give it, you got to be able to take it.
That's true, but you talking about Michael Jordan, the pettiest man on earth, where his favorite saying is, "I took that personal."
I mean, well, okay. As far as the thing, okay. I'm a Michael Jordan fan, but like you say, the wizard behind the wizard behind the scenes will tell you. I used to cry when he used to lose. At the end of the day, his thing is, I think, like I said, his biggest beef with Isaiah is because Isaiah will never pay homage and say Mike is but he does.
He does.
But he don't pay it the way Mike feels
wanting to.
And that's the biggest problem.
And also he might know that he didn't beat him the way that Isaiah jumped all over them all of the years. Yeah. I can remember in 1980, was the spring of 1990, on a Sunday, Chicago Bulls came to Auburn Hills. I went with a friend of mine from high school. Pistons jumped all over them so bad, Michael Jordan set the whole fourth quarter. I'll never forget that game. And that same season, and the Lakers came to town. Lakers jumped all over the Pistons, and they beat them real bad. I never forget Magic Johnson high five and AC Green and all of them at the half court in Detroit, which led them going back into the finals that year, and the Pistons beating them. But that was good Pistons history. Great Pistons history. All right, I was hesitant on bringing this as a topic for Stupid Sports News, but I think it fits perfectly. The Sierra dress versus the Beyonce dress. Over the last week or so, Sierra showed up. Was it at the Oscars with the dress showing off all her goodies, as a play on her song. And everybody talking about Russell Wilson being not take control. But people got to understand that's when you marry an artist and that's what she does. That's what go along with it. I don't think it's right for people to criticize them like that. And people talking about how when she got with him, she was all for the Lord and everything. But she's still an artist. She wants to keep herself relevant. When Bobby Brown married Whitney Houston said, I can't tell Bobby not to go out and be Bobby Brown on stage. That's what he does. So that's why I see Sierra with that dress. Now, as a married man, would I want my wife wearing a dress like that? No. But I didn't marry an artist going out selling millions and millions of dollars worth of records. So would I be happy with that if that was my wife? Oh, no. But at the same time, I did not marry somebody who that's what their job description is. What are your thoughts, sir? I knew you was gonna do that.
When you sent me it, I had to go Google the dress. I was like, okay, I mean, I'm with you. If that's what she do, look, at the end of the day, you got to respect yourself before you can respect somebody else, right? So obviously she respects herself to wear it. That's her companion. He's like, okay, this is my wife, whatever. Now, you have kids. Now, when your kids go to school and they say, ooh, your mama, blah, blah, blah. You remember Disco Rick from Detroit? Remember the song, Your Mama's on Crack Rock? Right, so I'm just saying, this is how bullying starts, right?
Yeah.
I seen the outfit. I was like, wow, that's what she wore for real. But I was like, hey.
Yeah. And I do that. I was, as a married man, I'd be like, whew. But that's not me. That's what he signed up for. And that's how it go. You deal with stuff.
Ain't this the guy who said he be doing leg lifts while he on the plane at night and all that? Man, go sit down. I never was a Russ fan anyway. I mean, because I'm with the Legion of Boom. You try to play more than what you are too. He another one that try to, I be working out while the plane's up in the air when they played in London. He made a big deal, like everybody was asleep on the plane, and I was walking up and down the runway, and Sherman them like, dude, you don't be doing that, man. Stop. So I mean, Fantasy Island. That's all I can say. Fantasy Island.
I'm gonna say I'm in a Russ. I'm a fan of Russ. And it's hard to me. It's hard not to like him.
Figures.
He always keep a smile on his face. He gonna face adversity, but he moves forward, and everybody gonna face adversity. So hopefully they get through this mini scandal they have right now. We're trying to really see this scandal.
Just watch.
All right. On that note, everybody, thank you for coming out and joining us today. Our next show is April 1st. We will be getting ready for the Final Four that weekend. Thank you so much. Don't forget to click like, click share. Go to our Facebook page and join. Have a great weekend. Be safe. And thank you.